Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Kamen Zero Spike back again once again. And today, people, we're here for Kamen Gotchard episode 28. And in this episode, I'm just gonna say it, man. This episode was wacky. This episode was wacky with shenanigans. There was some filler going on, man. We're now in our cool down little arc after defeating Leon and taking care of him and getting the academy back and all, they getting Minato back and all this other stuff, right? And everybody gets welcomed back into the academy. They welcome Minato back and reassure him that hey, we love you, bro. And they even got a message from the association, the higher up academy, the higher up alchemists, and they told them that, hey, y'all, my bad, our bad, that's we sorry. We didn't know Leon was gonna be the root of all evil. We didn't know that. We didn't know he was a traitor. But hey, man, we'll go ahead. Y'all go ahead. Y'all go on back and go ahead and start getting the Kimmies and stuff like I was before. We expect great things from you. And they also talked about how that's weird. The way they did that was weird because the association doesn't just switch their opinions like that. These are some old dudes who don't show their face. They already look suspicious off rip. Which is one thing. Why are always the higher ups always just dudes with hoods over their heads, just old dudes with hoods over their heads, and we don't know, we don't even they don't reveal their faces or anything like that. It's just hey, we just old dudes stuck in our old ways, and we there, and they really easy to make mad. It's weird. But yeah, that trope is out there, because this dude didn't even like an alchemist like that. He looked like a freaking hacker. But those hackers that sending off those freaking videos talking about conspiracies and stuff, he looked like that. So it was weird. So we also saw how Renge is visiting her Nana, or grandmother, which I call my grandmother Nana. She goes there to see her grandmother in this mountain area, kind of in the wilderness type of village, right? And we see that the village, they worship a kitsune, and a kitsune small statue, and her Nana is very overprotective of her. Renge wishes that she didn't treat her so much like a kid, because she's not a little girl anymore. And she takes her back to the house, and we see that Renge is basically attacked by a monster, which she calls it a yokai. And she calls up everybody and telling them, hey, you guys gotta come up here. I got attacked by this monster. I don't think it's a Kimmy or anything. I'm like, how could you not think it's a Kimmy? Unless this is a crossover freaking thing. I'm pretty sure whatever is attacking you most likely has to be a Kimmy. We've seen, look at all the Kimmies and monsters that you've seen. Of course, the 9 times out of 10 it's a Kimmy. So when they get there, they start investigating stuff, and before Ichinose and Kudo get there, because they're the only two that come up there, Renge is, she still, after she's on the phone with Ichinose and everybody, she basically gets her phone, her Kimmy capture phone thing, taken from this this dude who claims to be a spiritual kind of alchemist dude. And also, why is Kachiki here? How did Kachiki get here? And apparently he's taken apprenticeship of this guy. He wants to be this guy's pupil and stuff like that. This guy claims to be this big time, powerful spiritual alchemist, I guess. So when they start, we see that Ichinose and Kudo get there, and they start investigating stuff, and they end up finding the monster, but it turns out they called it a yokai. And so we see that Kudo is Kudo likes creepy, scary things. She likes stuff like that. She the episode, she walked through the haunted house attraction thing laughing, and while she's looking at this freaking ghost, Kimmy, yokai, whatever, she's like laughing the whole time. Like, she's definitely like that character, like, in a horror movie she would die, because she keeps going after the monster and looking for it and wanting and liking it and stuff. So they end up going in there and they find it, and they get attacked by it. You see Ichinose transforms trying to take it down, and yeah, this is definitely a freaking Kimmy. It looks like an umbrella with a tongue, and the other, it's two Kimmys actually. It's an umbrella with like a tongue, and there's another one that kind of looks like a nurse, but it takes the form of like a little flaming ball, like a little green fireball. So they did you see the Kimmy, and he tries to take it out, but then the alchemist dude comes up there and he uses some kind of light power, which he does have powers, but his powers are derived from, we'll talk about that later. So he ends up using that power, and it makes the Kimmies like fly away. So it makes them run away, and then out of nowhere, the Fire Mars Kimmy, he leaves Ichinose and goes to the alchemist dude and goes inside of his beaded necklace that he has. And the guy's like, yeah, my powers are complete, stuff like that. Like, he's really into the whole thing of like, yeah, like the gods are blessing me. Like, you see that a lot with the prayer hand type thing that they do. But yeah, so they end up going back to like the main hall or whatever, and I guess majority of the people in this village are old people. And yeah, majority of these people are old people, and they talk about like they kind of talk to the dude saying that, yeah, I did this and I defeated the monster and everything like that. And we see in the background, we see these two regular dudes. They're walking around the place, and they're just throwing trash and whatever everywhere. And we see that they do get like attacked by the Kimmies, but then they're not afraid of the Kimmies, and they start throwing stuff at the Kimmies. And that's when Artichokes, she gets there, and she turns both those dudes. She takes the Kimmies and turns both those guys into Malgams. We're fighting two Malgams in this episode. So while everybody's still in like the little city hall area, we see that Renge opens. They try and go and find the two Kimmies. She opens the door, and the two Malgams are standing there, and they start attacking everyone. We see that Kudo gets everybody out, and Ichinose goes off and gets them out of there and ends up fighting both of the Malgams, and he transforms into Platinum Gotchard. This form is dope. Actually, we see him actually use X-Rex and using the Excalibur and all that stuff. Like, you're basically almost using everything to a degree. So he ends up defeating both of these Malgams. And Artichokes is just like, whatever, and she leaves. Like, she does like, we like 2-3 scenes with Artichokes, and she does like nothing. So it's just like, I don't know, like what's her plan or whatever that she got going on. But Artichokes is just like, hey, whatever. And also, we didn't see any of the other two sisters. It was just Artichokes, just a little girl. So they end up defeating both of the Malgams, and then they end up taking these two dudes back to the city hall place. They're all knocked out and whatever. And Renge's Nana talks about how these guys are loan shark. These guys are land sharks, and they're trying to turn their village into like a dump. Like, they're trying to turn their village into like a dump, like people dump their trash at. And they're talking about how these people might have to end up leaving the village and going to the city and stuff like that. They don't want to leave. And yeah, then we see outside another older man is being attacked by something. So, and everybody turns around like, yep, it's not over yet. And everything's left on a cliffhanger. But yeah, this episode just filler. It is. It's cool though. Nice to see we got a whole new change of area. Also, we got to actually meet someone else's family member other than Kudo and Ichinose. But it was nice. I did like the kind of ghost kind of thing they had going on, especially with the kind of ghost experience thing they had going on, especially with the the cinematography. Like, they kind of did a lot of things like it was a horror ghost movie, because there was a lot of close-ups on faces, and there was a lot of like the ghostly ambiance and creepy stuff like going on. Try to make it like it was like kind of like a horror movie. And But yeah, I mean, this episode was funny. Had me laughing at some part of Renge's face when she screams, stuff like that. Like, since when is Renge screaming like that at freaking Malcolm's? I mean, I know they scared her, but God, man, she was screaming like she's never seen this stuff before. Like, you just got done fighting two powerful henchmen of the main villain. Like, she was like all these freaking amalgams that her and Sabimaru have dealt with up until this point. Like, Renge was just kind of like doing some stuff that was kind of out of character for me. I could be wrong, I know, that's just my perception of it. But yeah, Platinum Gotchard looking great as usual. This form still is my favorite form in this whole thing. He didn't turn into any other form. Well, we saw his base form again. We saw a base Gotchard again in this episode. But other than that, no other forms, just that, and just base form and Platinum, which is dope. So I really don't need any other forms if you really think about it, because I got my ultimate form. I can use any card. I can use any Kimmy power up in it. Like, proved that with X and the last time he used it. So hey, other forms is off the table now, unless he loses this some freaking way weird. But other than that, I'm gonna see you guys next time. You guys let me know how you feel about this episode down in the comment section below. But yeah, I'm gonna see you guys next time. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. As remember, as I always say, guys, stay henshined.